And what you are looking at is the Moody Performance Hall here in downtown Dallas at the Pearls Art District here in Dallas. Now, you might be saying to yourself, I recognize that name. Yes, Moody, you'll remember, has the naming rights to the theater where they shoot Austin City Limits in Austin, Texas. Moody, I believe, is a bank, if I'm not mistaken. It's a bank. It's a state bank. I haven't heard of Moody Bank outside of Texas, but yeah. So that's the Moody Performance Hall here in Dallas, Texas, downtown Dallas, Texas, amongst the Pearl Arts District here. Um, I don't know if they play, they allow country musicians or not there, but anyways, you might recognize this guy. Um, no, it's not the horse we saw on every block in Colorado. Denver did like the horses there, didn't they? Um, as a matter of fact, I like the horses there. Anyways, no, this is Dallas, and the horses here fly. So, this is not your typical Mustang or Maverick or what have you. This is a flying horse, um, Pegasus, and I posted this about this. There is everything Pegasus here. There's Pegasus Skull. There's Pegasus Bar. There's Pegasus Plaza. It's the people in Dallas sure have a lot of fun playing with the Pegasus. And if you remember from the last time I was here in 16, Pegasus became the symbol of Standard Oil. I believe it was first Standard Oil, and then eventually, owners and buyouts and what have you, and it became Mobil Oil. And they still use the logo today, that of Pegasus and Mobil Oil. The Pegasus here is part of the Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing Arts. It's a magnet school. And the arts, they're becoming very popular around the country, it seems to me, having schools dedicated specifically to the arts. And it's good to see, since so many art programs are disappearing in the regular standard high schools. And what I have found is, as they disappear because of funding or taxes, or you know neighbors not wanting to pay property taxes and send little Johnny to school because I have no kids, and I hate them, so why should I support my neighbor's kids? You know that kind of thinking. Prop 13, think California. Um, they've been disappearing in high schools around the country and grade schools around the country. This here, I believe, is an extension of the Booker T. Um, Performance Center, but this used to be Washington High School. I don't think it is any longer a regular high school. I think now it is. My guess is it would be part of the Booker T. Um, but don't quote me on that. Now here's a mystery, and I have not researched this because I'm simply haven't had the time, trying to keep my mind and my body together here during these wonderful Corona days. Here's something that mystified me. It is a memorial, a statue to Ernie Banks. Now, the first thing I thought was, wow, they got this statue up real fast. Because didn't he just die? Didn't Ernie Banks die like just a year ago, if that? And they got the statue up already. My second question is, I didn't know he was in Dallas. I didn't know he lived in Dallas at some time. And assuming he was a graduate or alumni from this school. But there's a nod here to the great Ernie Banks of the Chicago Cub fame. Moving along, there is the Montgomery Arts Theater. A lot of these are not specific theaters, so I'm not sure what like their purpose is. It seems like there's many multiple arts, perhaps, could be used in many of these theaters, um, whatever it may be, because they're pretty generic with the titles in a lot of these. All of them have theater or hall in some sense, but okay, the Dallas Theater Center. Check that out. Isn't that beautiful? Of course, the sad part about all of this is that all these theaters are sitting empty, and there is, and I'm sure they've been empty since last year. But it's a shame. Um, yeah, kind of got the cubism thing going on there, huh? Kind of just a plain box, but and ATT got the naming rights here, and you'll find ATT all over the arts district here. You'll find actually ATT all over Dallas, downtown Dallas. They have, I believe, offices here on Commerce Street, and the big center there is all AT&T. Now across the way here, this is a little bit sizable than the ones we just looked at. But it is beautiful just nonetheless. Notice, if you will, all the social space around this building here. All right, let's get a perspective we can work with here. Once again, it's AT&T Performing Arts Center here. Look at that. That's a lot of room to sit around and chat and have a mocha or a latte before the show. You know? And it looks like a beautiful building. I mean, it looks gorgeous. Again, performing arts and whatever that may involve, you know. Sure that it's sort of generic for a reason. But enjoy the Center Cafe while you're here. and Dying Among the Stars. And the beautiful weather that has just turned here in mid-January. Thank God. It was getting pretty cold there. Mixed, I believe, with the theaters here is housing. What do you think? Okay. Pretty cool, huh? Let's see the perspective I had of this the other day. I thought it was pretty interesting. It kind of looks a little bland in a way. I mean, but I think the bones are good. You know, it seems to have a bone structure there. Moving along, we cross the street once again to sort of a sculpture garden here. You have the Artisan, which I believe is a cafe restaurant. And then you have a sculpture garden up top there. And that leads to most of the parking. Pretty cool sculptures. Here's one I do like. This reminds me of Nashville and all the fantastic musical sort of sculptures they had in Nashville. And it's just, I just go crazy over this. I'll be there before the end of spring. I'm headed that way, Nashville. I got my eyes on you. Let's hope this COVID is over with, because people are not having fun here. You know, this is not fun time for a lot of people, especially me. You know, it's not happy time here. So, all right. Now here's one theater that does specifically have an art in mind. This is the Morton H. Meyerson Symphony Center. And that is a beaut, isn't it? Look at that. My God, that's gorgeous. Now, I heard symphonies on TV as a boy. And the Arthur Fiedler or something like that, and the Boston Pops or something. And I hated symphony, pops, any of that. You know, I mean, they used to throw him on like PBS every 4th of July or something. You know, folks would sit around and watch it. But I must tell you, and if you have a child at home who hates symphony, and you have an interest perhaps in it, or if you just hate symphony yourself and don't really care, give me a second here. I think I was in the 7th or 8th grade when the symphony in Pittsburgh, yeah, the one that was, this was before Andre Previn, but anyways, the symphony in Pittsburgh started a program where an afternoon sort of program with the schools in the Pittsburgh area. And they would bring schools in for like a field trip. and the Pittsburgh Symphony would perform for us grade schoolers. Watching a symphony live, professional, professional symphony players live in a center such as this that is made for the sound. The acoustics are for the sound of the symphony is it's ethereal. When I heard the Pittsburgh Symphony, uh, I came to appreciate the symphony. Didn't mean I could afford to go, but still, I came to an appreciation of the symphony and how beautiful it is, and how it uh, just rises above all other forms of music, you know. Um, and you know, that's something for me to say, I must say. All right, let us go about 2 blocks yonder and check out another part of the arts district here. All right, we're about 3 blocks further away here, and we are at the Dallas Museum of Art. And you know what's great about this? During these COVID days, it's open. And you know what's even better about this? It's free. The people of Dallas know how to spend their tax dollars free. It's closed on Mondays, I think. I don't know. It's whatever. But it's a nice looking car. But yeah, so by appointment, you have to have an appointment. But yeah, and it's free to everybody. Everybody. You can be from the Lone Star State. You can be from the Constitution State. Doesn't matter. It's free to the populace. Also, right across from here, across the street there, is the Nasher Sculpture Garden and the Nasher Sculpture Center. Okay, and that runs for most of the block, I would imagine. That's going to cost you a pretty price. We're talking about $5 entrance to that. So it's it's like, make excuses to the landlord if you have to, but see if you can find the 5. And you want a break from essential workers and their desire for attention, much like many neighbors, you can come across to the Clyde Warren Park here after visiting the museum for lunch, for dinner, and hopefully I won't kill myself. This is Texas Park. This is how Texas does a park. Nothing small here. This park runs like forever. It is, it goes the length easily of the Arts District all the way down there and all the way over here. Wi-Fi is available, free. Food, not free. um, Tables to sit at, chairs. For others, there's the electric that seems to be missing around the rest of the city lately, but there's electric to charge tablets and phones and such as you wait for the bridge to reopen. Or the next bus out, boys. But yeah, it is beautiful. And here's the kicker: there's like a park. I don't know if you can see it. It's at the foot of that RREAF Holdings building there. There's like a park there for toddlers. So I mean, it's like everything here. They got everybody covered here. Just quite remarkable. And they're moderate with the splash phones. So let's hope those days of last decade are over. All right, it's downtown Dallas, and we're in the Arts District here on a gorgeous sunny afternoon on MLK Day.